I can't do it, sir. I can't shoot people in VR.
Shut up! I won't have yellow-bellied cowards in my virtual army. Alright, what's going on YouTube? Let's get into this article about a press event HTC put on going over their VR headset Vive that they've made for Steam or Valve. And it's by Ben Kuchera. Alright, so here's the beginning of the article. This is how the Vive beats the Rift. Of course, he's talking about the Oculus Rift, games, and packed-in motion controls. Let's see here. So we go down through here. He's just kind of describing the ambiance. How they had this cool setup where it's all low lighting and hum in the background. They have these cool futuristic honeycomb walls. One of the things that got to me was at the end of it where he says there was even a Vive Pre complete with a lighthouse base station and controllers arranged beatifically at the front door. Well, I had to look up beatifically because I'm not a journalist. I'd be hard pressed to find anybody that I know that knows what beatifically means, which is kind of annoying when journalists do this. Kind of condescending. They're so much smarter than you that they use these words that nobody fucking uses in real life. Maybe you guys do. You can tell me in the comments below if beatifically is something you use on a day-to-day basis. But so you scroll down, he kind of describes how the atmosphere was intentional by the developers to kind of ease them in and out of these VR games. After that, he just kind of jumps into the games that they got to play. They have a little video of the games, what they look like to them as they're playing it, and the object of the game. I didn't see in the beginning him tell about the Vive, like about these controllers. Maybe they did that in a previous article, but it would have been nice to have like something up here, two-hand controllers, how many buttons they have, the area that they can walk around. I think I've read it was like 15, you have a 15 square foot area that you can kind of walk around in, and that's as far as you can go. But I didn't see that here in the beginning, so unless I missed it. Another reason why it would have been nice for him to go over the 15-foot limitation in the beginning, so then he could go over how the developers overcame that limitation and used it to their advantage. But he didn't mention it in here. You keep scrolling down, and then you get to budget cuts, which is the first place you start reading, and you go, why the fuck did they pick this guy to go here? He's obviously not the best at reviewing these kind of games. Basically, to get around that 15-foot square limitation, you have like a portal type gun, and to get into the next room or go to the next place, you just kind of shoot a portal over there, and then you kind of zoom in over there. So, yeah, you see, you just kind of go through, and you got these robots that are trying to stop you or attack you. I guess some of them are dumb robots, some of them are smarter, and anyways, you got to figure out how to use the tools the best way to get from point A to point B, I guess, and not get seen by the robots or stopped by the robots. And this is where it gets funny. You come down here and he puts, actually, even before we get to that, so you get down here and he says, while having even a stylized robot point a gun at you is scary. You're like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? This robot, this fucking robot right here, pointing a gun at you, that's scary to him. Is this the guy that you want reviewing games? If this scares him, this freaks him out. Even if it's in virtual reality, it's you get depth perception, but I don't see how this is going to be scary to you. And then to the next part, he puts, expect to see a lot of robots and zombies in VR games. Killing human targets often feels wrong. Who the fuck is this guy? Has he played a game in the last 20 years where probably about 90% of the games you have a weapon and you're killing another human? I'd hate to see his reviews on any kind of war game, Battlefield or Call of Duty. He's probably, I pissed my pants and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't shoot another virtual human being. It's crazy. Who the fuck hires these people to review games if they can't even fucking play them without, feeling that it's wrong? This is the type of person that shouldn't be playing games. I mean, if you can't tell the difference between a video game and real life, you really should, go back to Candy Crush or something, because you may be turning into Lawnmower Man. I don't know. That's just crazy. Which makes me think that this guy Ben Kuchera was a journalist who went into the gaming genre and was not a gamer who went into journalism. Uh, because I don't see I don't know any of my friends that would be telling me that this robot's scary if it's pointing a gun at you, or that you know killing a human target feels wrong. With the Oculus Rift on, I played plenty of games with that, and it never felt like it was real to me. I always knew it was a fake. It was a video game. Um, just I had depth perception instead of a flat screen. It wasn't too much different. It is cool to move your head, and it moves around as well. But virtual reality and reality never blended together. Where I thought I was, I couldn't tell. I thought I was in the Matrix or something. Now wait, it gets even better than this. You keep scrolling down. Eventually, you'll get to hover junkers. Um, this is a game where you're on these like hovercrafts, and you're on one hovercraft of your own, and you kind of build up this wall with bulletproof things, and then it's a multiplayer game. So say your friend's on his hovercraft, he pulls up next to you, you're shooting out, um, and whoever kills the other person wins. Definitely sounds like a lot of fun. Here's the characters, kind of cartoony, Team Fortressy looking. So as you read through the article, basically the developer is trying to show them like how much you can do. Is basically you have two controllers which control the hands, which will wave the avatar's hands around. Your head will move around with the tracking that tracks your head movement. So you can kind of make the avatar move a little, and the body will go up and down as you squat up and down because it's tracking your head. So the developer was showing them how to do it, and then I guess the developer basically told everybody to stop, and then had the avatar point the gun at their head, and then shot, and then obviously the avatar died because it got shot. So you find out there's other journalist sites that also like to hire writers that cannot tell video games from reality. They're merging together. If we read down here, it says an Engadget writer saw this happen in real time with no motion not to shoot in game, and then took his own life in front of the reporter. I don't know if I'd put it took his own life. It's more of had his character shoot themselves. It's kind of like say in Halo when you throw some grenades on the ground and then you go "Bleh!" and you blow up. I don't shed any tears. That doesn't freak me out when my friend does that. I usually laugh. So here's a quote from the Engadget reporter, which is kind of suspect. Do people really talk like this? I don't know. That soul was palpable enough to get me to lower my gun and cry out in shock when I saw Noel's avatar shoot herself, the writer said. In most games, an avatar is just an empty husk going around the motions of predefined animations. But in Hover Junkers, they mimic a real player's movement. When Noel pointed a gun at his head and motioned for me to stop, I saw through the game to the person behind it. It still looked like a video game, but it felt real. More real than any multiplayer game I've ever played. Are you fucking kidding me, people? Look at this. Look at this this cartoony character. Imagine it. Imagine this guy just shooting it and she falls. Do you get an emotional response for that? If you're playing this game, here, watch. Let me show you. Let me show you. So this is the guy playing. This is a developer playing. This is what he's seeing in his game, and this is what what they're seeing in real life. Let's make this bigger here. Oh, I guess can't. Anyways, so we'll move it on to where he's. So right here you can see in here he's building his walls up. I guess you like go along and you get items to build your walls up. So he's building them up, and then let me fast forward it to where they're shooting out. So you can kind of see from your perspective, you don't even see your arms or anything. You just see a floating gun. which I don't know how these reporters were so engulfed in it that they thought it was real life. I mean, floating guns in front of you. So here he is shooting at his friend, and then you just saw the friend fucking fall. So they just kind of they go like, put their arms out and they blink and then they fall through the floor of the junker. It looks like the hover junker, into the sand. So it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's a animation that looks real, like real life. So unless they were seeing something different than what I'm seeing, I don't know how they were so freaked out at this. Which makes me believe further that these are journalists that just went and got a job at a gaming site rather than gamers that went to journalist school specifically to get a job to write about games. It's just, you know, how long have you been playing games? Would you freak out if you played a VR game and this cartoony character pointed a gun at themselves' head and then flashed a little bit and then fell through the fucking junker? Like, I don't think I would think that's real. I mean, who talks like this? That soul was palpable enough to get me to lower my gun and cry out in shock. Your quote is palpable enough to get me to lower my mouse and cry out, "What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck is this?" Uh, it's fucking stupid. They thought it was real life. It's just fucking insane. They thought this was real life. She could see through this avatar and see that somebody had just shot themselves in the head. It was so fucking real, apparently. So, anyways, so they go to what we've learned. It just kind of talks about the Vive and the demos, blah 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 blah. You get down to let's get down here to the discussions, and everybody's pretty optimistic. They're like, "Oh, this looks amazing. This is awesome. Sign me up. How much is gonna be?" There's just like fanboys forming who like the Oculus or like the Vive, but nothing down here. I didn't see one time down in the comments where they're saying, "Oh my God, I don't know if I could play this because I would think it's real life and it would scare me too much to see my friend, you know, kill off their own avatar. It would be too disturbing for me." So I don't know what the fuck he was going for in this article, but it looks like he's trying to push a narrative of, you know, we shouldn't be having human targets in video games. That's what it looks like to me. But then it gets even crazier as they talk about how they had to bring a therapist in because a lot of the writers and even some of the other developers just had a mental breakdown once they saw that one developer shoot their own avatar. Now I made up that last part. I'm just fucking with you. But the way this is written, this part, um, this part of the article, I bet you believe me for a split second. You probably believe that they brought in a therapist just because it's so crazy. It's like who the fuck are you having? Do you have mental patients as journalists that cannot discern between games and reality? This is insane. These journalists should not be reviewing these games. It's way too real for them. Obviously, I saw through the game to the person behind it. They're way too empathetic if they're seeing through the game to the person behind it and they can't discern between a fucking game and real life, and they think if a guy shoots his avatar in a game they're imagining him shooting himself. I, as a normal gaming consumer, don't want to read their perspective if their perspective is skewed like this. It's just a shame that they got to go to this event and other journalists didn't get to go because it sounds like only a select few got invited. I looked at another article about the same event through GameSpot. Um, they didn't say anything. I went to budget cuts. I was looking for you know, have them talk about how scary the robots were, or that they were glad that it was robots and not humans because it just feels wrong. There's nothing that in there. They're just talking about how fun it was and the impression they got. I clicked over on the GameSpot article of hover junkers. Um, no mention of the whole developer shooting themselves. Basically, they're just going over the game like you should do as a journalist. You're trying to get to the readers um, what they showed you, what your impressions are, which is what they did. So good job on them on that. They aren't telling us there shouldn't be human targets or anything in here. I just wanted to see what you guys think of how this article was written. Um, what do you think when a Call of Duty or a Battlefield comes out for these VR systems? Do you think these journalists are going to have a favorable opinion on these types of games? You know, it just kind of gets to me like what's passing for game journalists these days. I mean, they can't even review the game because they're too scared to even fucking play the game, or it hurts them too much emotionally to shoot a human character in a game. So comment below, let me know what you guys think. You know, what you think about VR, what you think about this article. If you think you'll be able to shoot human characters, or you think it should just be robots and zombies only. And on that note, I'm going to leave you with some footage from that actual event from one of the journalists there. Oh shit, I bet you weren't expecting that. All right, you guys, rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next show.